But I tell you what, let me pose a question to you. Who's a Christian artist that you enjoy?
Need to Breathe.
Need to Breathe. Okay, we'll go with Need to Breathe, right?
Yeah.
So, let's say that you found out that Need to Breathe, the national touring Christian act, made an appearance on the Howard Stern show.
Okay.
And did an interview.
Are they wearing shirts?
They're all wearing shirts. They're fully clothed. The interview went, and the interview went okay. Like, they weren't participating in vulgarity or unchristian-like behavior, but they were on the man's show, and he's known for his.
Is he still doing a show?
Oh yeah, he's on satellite radio.
I didn't know how that went.
And he's known for his poor morals, really. I mean, just bad moral choices. And so, would you? What would you say to that? Would you think Need to Breathe overstepped their bounds or made a bad choice?
What do I think?
Yeah, what do you personally
think? I would think if they were there representing Christ, I mean, not in a obnoxious way, but just representing being light in darkness, I'd say go for it. Be all about. I mean, Jesus hung out with Matthew, who was a tax collector, who brought all those tax collector friends that were all into drugs, sex, rock and roll. I mean, it was the darkest of darkness.
I don't remember seeing that rock and roll in the Gospels.
Yeah.
They had the lyre and tambourines, and they really rocked it. Had funny holly glasses.
I stayed up all night playing my lyre.
I did see the intro to Biblical Hill pack at the Hallmark, and it included a lyre, some incense, and a tambourine.
See, they rocked it. But I mean, it was a wild crowd. It was like today you'd think, oh, it'd be the people hanging out at Big Earl's. Okay,
Right.
That's like he went there because that's the kind of women that were there. That's the kind of people there, and he didn't go there to participate. He went there to be light because of course he was God, so he was light.
Right.
So I would have no problem with believers. I mean, that's what we're supposed to be, is light.
Would you not go to their concerts anymore? Or?
I would.
Well, here's the reason this came up. So Ben and I were talking last week about random people that we could Skype into the show, and Johnny Lang came up. And Johnny Lang is a blues guitarist, and he had a couple pop hits back in the day, like in the mid '90s. I think he sang a song called "Lie to Me," and it was very popular and whatever. But he has since become a born again Christian. And he's got some really cool gospel tunes out there or whatever. But so I went and checked out his Facebook, figuring I could say, hey, John, why don't you come on Live from the Past? Blah, blah, blah. And I start reading his Facebook page. And he was supposed to be playing at a church, and I can't remember where the church was, but he was supposed to be have a concert at a church, and people were commenting on it and say, wow, your show went really well. And about 10 comments down, there was some lady had said, well, I was going to go to your concert at so-and-so church, but you're on the Howard Stern show. I thought you were a Christian. I guess I can't go to your concert now. And I read this, and I was instantly irritated at this woman.
Yeah,
Like-
Howard needs Jesus.
Well, that's the thing. Is like if
who's
they
gonna
go,
tell him?
if he goes, let's say he goes on the Howard Stern show, and he doesn't, let's say he's not preaching the gospel. He's not throwing it out there, but he's promoting his career because that's his job. He's a music man, and so he's still not crossing the Christian line or doing immoral behavior, but he is, yoking himself with Howard Stern.
Well, the yoking, like from Scripture, would be more of a long-term business partnership, not a, hey, I'll hang out at your show once, or I'll do a concert in your venue. It'd be, hey, will you be my manager, Howard Stern?
Now, do you think, maybe the question is, like, I don't know, do you think he could have made a better choice? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not asking, what concerned me with the lady is that if you don't want to go to his show, just don't go. Don't go.
Yeah, don't make a big stink.
But don't don't put on your
Jesus
judgment
in that
hat
name.
and start pointing fingers at people.
She's not a fan.
Well, she is a fan. That's the thing.
You don't like my shirt.
It's the presentation. We'll put it that way. But I guess that, like I said, the thing that was irritating me about this particular woman was that a Christian looking at another Christian, or a Christ follower looking at another Christ follower, and totally pumping out judgment at him, calling him out on a national scape. Like, this guy is a fairly popular, touring artist, and comes in contact with more people than I do in 10 years.
Sure.
And the fact that he continues to proclaim himself a Christian, I mean,
That's cool.
Yeah, I think this is awesome, and she's calling him out and saying, I thought you were a Christian, ? I'm like, man, that's really
why not
steady
send
ground.
him a private message on Facebook or write him or something like, why do you got to do that publicly?
Well,
Because there may be an explanation behind it, and then how do you like to call someone out like that and then go, oh, that actually was reasonable, but I can't delete my message. Everybody already saw it.
That's the thing that irritates me though, is that like I don't think it's any of your business.
That's what the Pharisees said to Jesus.
Yeah, well, if he's a public artist, though, I mean, he may not have to answer you, but you may want to question it. You may have
just
a right
say-
to question it, but you probably shouldn't do it publicly.
You may just say, "I'm praying for you." That's it.
Right.
Yeah.
Or,
like you can question
or
it,
just
but
or just make a decision.
I don't see any reason why people get a pass judgment on this. You know what I'm saying?
That's
like
a self-righteous person.
that's exactly what I'm saying.
Which is what the Pharisees were, and they say, "Oh, Jesus hangs out with sinners and wine bibbers."
Right.
Whatever that is.
What kind of person
They're
is
picking
he?
picking eats on the Sabbath. This is a big hairy deal.
Yeah.
And so it really bothered me. Like these are the people that are representing Christ followers. To other people. I thought finger point and whatnot. If I see someone that has fallen, as far as I can see, that I think has fallen off the Christ wagon, they get my prayers and they don't get my judgment. Now I will judge them
At least
on
not
occasion.
publicly.
Well, definitely not
Maybe
publicly.
pull them aside, hey,
Yeah, I mean, if I know them personally, then most certainly, we'll talk about it. But it's not like I, search people out and I write Jimmy Swaggart, and say, Jimmy, what happened?
What are you doing in that?
Yeah. So I don't know. I was really disappointed.
You
with
could
it.
say the same thing about us. On our Des Moines Amplified, we are with a lot of different shows that have a lot of different viewpoints that would not be really biblical.
True.
Yeah.
And so,
Right.
what's wrong
It'd
with
be like
Who you
someone,
hanging out with?
It'd be like someone sending you an email and being like, Dan, I don't appreciate the company you're keeping, and I think you've made a huge mistake here. I thought you were Christian.
I
See
told,
ya."
I told my 13-year-old daughter, hey, we're on DesMoinesAmplified.com. And so she looks it up one day, assuming that's just going to be our show all the time. And she saw something that was quite shocking to her in what someone was saying, like going, whoa, that's like totally nothing we would condone, And I'm like, well, it's just a different show,
Right.
And so, I mean, it could be said. But hopefully we have we don't really know too many of the other people yet.
No,
we have
no.
opportunities, but it'd be kind of cool to get to know each other from
Yeah, I
other
think
shows
so.
and get to know each other and see why do we think differently. And
Like a pancake feed?
we could have a pancake feed. We could charge $4, and that would draw them in. We draw
$4
in
for
twice as many people.
And then you hit him with the price on the sausage on the back end.
But
That
we
is
charge
not
them for
free.
the Kaibo use.
Sausage.
Yeah.
I would assume that you're serving bad food for $4.
Okay, I'll go 6.
I wouldn't though with
I would show
pancakes though. Pancakes you make in mass.
But sausage.
Like for fairly, yeah.
And
But,
eggs.
but I think for
Yeah,
$4,
sausage. I would agree that.
Sausage
I think
does
for
add it up.
$4 you can accomplish solid pancakes and solid sausage though.
And
For
there's
$4.
Oh, fine for all of that.
I like this guy. He brings people together.
He says, "How about, come on,
You don't like 4, you don't like 8. How about 5?
Compromise. That's what it's all about.
Maybe it's the whole petroleum-based oil thing. Now everything's going up. And they had to charge.
And because you buy sausage made of oil,
Exactly. Exactly.
That-
or
you
it
know
takes
who-
oil to drive it.
You
here,
know who's
whatever.
benefiting? Obama.
BP.
Tell him more backdoor deals, Daniel. Did you know Obama is secretly the president of the sausage company?
He killed Jimmy D.
You're out. He wouldn't take that stimulus
Next week
package.
on Live from the Path, Secret Service.
No, it's interesting though about the music stuff because that's what I shared before on one of the shows is that with my DJ business, like sometimes it gets into that sticky situation where the job I was hired to do and basically playing what they want to hear isn't always what I feel it's appropriate for the certain crowd to be hearing. Like if you're hired for a teen party and they want to hear all these certain songs, so the question is, I guess ultimately is like, well, should you be in the business then or not? Because I was hired to do a job, and certainly there's going to be some things that are completely out of line that I'm just going to you're going to draw the line, and the parents
Sure.
don't want you to hear that. I don't want you to hear that. So, but for the most part, you've got edited music. It's clean, but just what's being said in the songs suggestive, obviously, and so you draw the line between what is it my right having been hired for the job to step like they don't care about my personal convictions necessarily unless I were to just promote myself differently and decide I'm not going to play that music so I don't know but it's kind of tough ethically sometimes where
And I think that's the thing. It's the honest part of it. Say, look, I think that it's only fair from a business perspective to make sure that that's clear.
You know, like if you have a line, I think it's fair to make sure they know it. What we were at the start of the Truth Project, I remember Steve Dason said like WHO doesn't come to him with certain things because they